Inflation, surprise. It's the reason parents are also throwing tantrums in grocery stores right now. For the past year or so, the price of everything we buy has been skyrocketing, right? Because as companies face higher costs to make their products, they have to pass those costs on to the consumers. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're like, Trevor, can't they keep their prices the same and make a slightly smaller profit? Come on. You're adorable, less profit. But it turns out some companies are not raising their prices. And it's not because they're angels, it's because they've found a much sneakier way to make the same profit as before.
From the rising cost of inflation to the growing trend of shrinkflation.
The next time you're shopping, check closely. This Life cereal box recently got taller, but it lost 2.5 ounces. That's almost a bowl and a half of cereal. Experts call it shrinkflation.
It's a very sneaky way to pass on a price increase. They know consumers will notice a direct price increase, but they won't notice if the product gets a little bit smaller.
We found some products. You see the Charmin here. If you look really, really closely, you'll see the size of the rolls went from 396 sheets to 366 sheets. You wouldn't know it. It says Super Mega on top. And here's my favorite, Gatorade. It kind of grew a waistline here. It used to be 32 ounces. Now it's 28 ounces, but it is the same height. You can see it there.
Yeah, she's right. That Gatorade bottle's looking good. You're like, damn, what you been doing, Gatorade? You stopped drinking Gatorade? But yes, from soda to cereal and even toilet paper, companies are secretly shrinking the size of their products, but you pay the same. And you've probably noticed this, right? Back in the day, you bought a big bag of chips. Everyone ate. These days, you open the bag, and there's just one chip holding the sides to make it look big. And the worst part about shrinkflation is that if you complain about it, you sound crazy, right? If you're like, guys, I think these double-stuffed Oreos are actually 1.7 times stuffed, people are just going to be like, all right, buddy, why don't you put on this jacket and get in this white van? We got you. We're going to find the rest of your Oreos. The toilet paper one is probably the worst. Yeah, because I'm sure, like me, many of you know how many sheets are in a roll. Yeah, I do it automatically when I'm sitting there. I'll be like $3.94, $3.95, and then it's just like, ah! In fact, you know what? There should be a law. If companies are going to shrink their products, they should at least have to tell us they're doing it. Yeah, because right now they're being slick. They're acting like drug dealers, cutting their product to stretch their supply. Now we got to try to catch them out. Wait a minute, this yogurt is mostly bird poop. You trying to get killed, Trader Joe? You trying to get killed? But let's move on from America's current problem to America's eternal problem, gun violence. This week, Texas released its report on how the Uvalde Police Department handled the school shooting that happened there. And the report concluded that the cops, and I'm quoting here, sucked ass. But the report added that even if the police response had been flawless, it wouldn't have saved most of the kids because someone armed with an AR-15 style rifle can just do too much damage too fast. So the solution to try and stop the next shooting is obvious. And no, don't say it's banning the AR-15s, that's racist. The Constitution is very clear about who has rights in this country. It goes corporations, guns, children, then guns again, then the national anthem, then women, but only women who are holding a gun. That's pretty much it. But apparently, if you're open-minded, there are lots of ways to stop school shootings without getting rid of guns. In fact, check out what this one school district in Texas is getting up to.
Here in North Texas, the Dallas ISD is trying something new to keep students safe. It is requiring clear or mesh backpacks for students in 6th through 12th grades.
Students will be able to carry a small pouch inside the bag that isn't clear to hold cell phones, money, and hygiene products.
Clear backpacks. Are they effective in keeping weapons out of schools? Experts say crime does not necessarily go down because of them.
Well-intended, but relatively ineffective.
You can still hide a weapon inside of a clear backpack, inside of a book, a cutout in a book, inside of clothing.
This video shows how easy it is to hide weapons, regardless of having a clear backpack or not.
God damn! How many guns did that guy have in his pants? Did you see that? Because like it started out scary, and then at some point it was just like a magic trick. It was just like, oh, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this behind you here, an AR-15. But for real, what are we doing here, people? I'm constantly amazed at how America is willing to get rid of everything except guns. Everything. will be considered. All right, let's get rid of normal backpacks. Everything is see-through now. Also, you know what? No more clothes for these kids. Yeah. They could be hiding the guns anywhere. In fact, now that I think about it, just get rid of all the kids in school. That way the guns can finally go there in peace. I think we solved it. And you know who's really going to be negatively affected by these clear backpacks? It's all those jocks who are secretly smart. Yeah. Because now they're going to be exposed. It's going to be like, wait a minute, Chad. Like, are you carrying around Shakespeare in your backpack? No, dude, it's just to cover my boners, man, I swear. Dost thou not believeth me? And clearly those things are not going to stop shootings. There's only one thing that is going to stop shootings. And we all know what it is. Just cut to the chase and arrest all the weird kids. Yeah, it's not fair, and it's definitely not legal. It's not a good idea. But it is a good idea. All right, finally, let's talk about the United States Secret Service. The people who wore one tiny earphone before AirPods were cool. Recently, the Secret Service has been all over the news because the January 6th committee wants to know what information they have about President Trump's actions on the day his fans went tailgating in Nancy Pelosi's office. So the committee told the Secret Service, give us all the text messages that you guys were sending that day. But the Secret Service said this.
The Secret Service says it cannot recover the deleted text messages from January 5th and 6th of last year. The Washington Post is reporting the agency has no new text to provide to Congress and that any other messages exchanged between agents around the time of the attack were purged.
The Secret Service claims these messages were erased as part of a device replacement program, adding any insinuation that the Secret Service maliciously deleted text messages following a request is false.
Those Secret Service texts are gone. Gone. Like, really not ever to be recovered.
Wow. This is so sad. The Secret Service lost all the texts from January 6th because they were doing a device replacement program. What a terrible thing. Oh. Why do I feel like this is the same kind of device replacement program you do when your partner asks you to explain where you were the other night? Yeah, I was due for upgrade because of what me and Keisha were up to, so I had to, Apple called me and yeah. And you know, it's interesting how they're saying once you delete a text, there's no way to retrieve it. Yeah, once they delete a text, it's gone. Because best believe, if any of us lost a text, the Secret Service would find it. Yeah, they would find the shit out of it. You'd be like, oh, I deleted it. They'd be like, give me that phone. They'd be like, so this is what you were doing with Keisha. Shit. And look, I know many people are angry, saying like, I can't believe the Secret Service isn't handing over these texts. Well, but I don't know, maybe it's because I'm South African. I just assumed this would happen. Yeah, that's the Secret Service. That's their job, right? To keep secrets. In fact, if they give you the text, you should fire them, snitch. The real question we should be asking is, why are they even texting? Imagine this, the Capitol was being overrun by a mob of Facebook comments come to life. People are trying to hang the vice president, and the Secret Service is texting? Guys, what is this thing for? What? You're telling me all that shit was happening and someone's using text just like, hey guys, just wanted to warn you, the vice president is in Asia. Sorry, autocorrect, I meant danger. The vice president is in danger, send back, never mind, the problem solved itself. And I know a lot of people think that this was a huge conspiracy, I do. You know, people say that this is proof that the Secret Service was in on the Capitol plot, but it could also be a much simpler answer. You know, maybe they just don't want people to see the texts that they were sending about their boss. Yeah. Like, I know I wouldn't want that. Can you imagine being at the congressional hearing and Liz Cheney's like, so Agent Johnson, what did you mean when you texted President Poop emoji is baby crying emoji in car emoji? Be like, I'd rather go to jail, ma'am. All right, that's it for the headlines. But before we go, let's check in on traffic with our very own Roy Wood Jr., everybody.
Yo.
What's going on, Roy? How you doing?
Yeah, man.
So, what's happening in the traffic?
What do you want to know?
I don't know why
what
we
do you
always...
want to
Why
about
do we always have to
traffic.
fight about this, Roy? I want to know what the traffic is, okay?
Oh, you want to know traffic?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That is a car. When there's a group of them, it is called a traffic. So that is a group of traffics all moving around. I mean, honestly, like what we really need to be talking about is how the price of gas went down, and that's why traffic went up, because everybody outside driving again. It's terrible. This is terrible.
Wait.
Gas going down is terrible.
No, you can't say it's terrible. You were the one standing here saying you want the price of gas to go down. That's what you said.
When I said that?
Yo, you said that on the show.
On this show? I said it on this show?
Which other show, Roy? You said it on this show.
You can't prove that. We ain't got no tapes. Look, what we need to be talking about is this shrinkflation, because that's a serious issue, that shrinkflation. I experience shrinkflation all the time. I be in the drive-thru, and you see that big burger on the picture. They show you a big, perfect burger, and you go around to pick up your burger, and then the burger is shrink. That's shrinkflation. It's all types of shrinkflation, and that's just one of the many forms.
That's different, but yeah.
Like, because it's not just the products that you was talking about just now. There's a lot of different. Let me ask you a serious question.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that you've been getting less condom? Like on a 3-pack, you buy a 3-pack. Have you noticed less condom?
So you're saying this? Are you saying? Have I noticed that there are fewer condoms in the pack?
Don't. It's people. Don't make me explain this. That's like. You know, like when you had like a fitted hat at first, it come down to here, and then it just be sitting up there. Like, out of nowhere, you don't have as much fitted hat. The fitted hat be up here, like, where's the rest of it? Do you even use contraception? Do you even understand? Let's on the roll.
Right, can we talk about the traffic?
Look, here's the other thing about shrinkflation. We don't need to just focus on what's happening now. We got to go back to the source of shrinkflation. The first group of people that started shrinkflation. We got to shut them down, and then that's how you stop all the shrinkflation. The shrinkflation ain't new. This been going on. You know who did it first? The Girl Scouts. The Girl Scouts did it first. Don't you trust them little berets? Them Girl Scouts, when you used to buy Girl Scout cookies, the Girl Scout cookie box used to be this long back in '84. Now, every year, shorter and shorter and shorter. The cookies are thinner and thinner and thinner. And that's not right, man. That's not right. Then to add insult to injury, at least with these corporations now, you made the box of cereal smaller, but at least they leave the regular logo and the regular picture of the cereal on the box. You know what the Girl Scouts do? You know what these little evil berets do? Not only do the Girl Scouts shrinkflate the box, they charge you more money for less product, then they put a picture on the box of them having a good time with your money. How disrespectful is that? You want to talk about the traffic now?
No, I feel like we ran out of time once again, Roy.
No, we can talk about it. I got time.
No, we're good. We got this.
We can talk about it.
This always happens, and then it's fine.
That's my bad. That's my bad.
Next time?
Next time I got you on traffic, for real.
Oh, I'll believe you when I see it.
I'm for real. I got you.
I feel like you promised me this much traffic, and then it shrinks down.
What you just say?
Thank you so much, Roy Wood Jr.